Hey, what's up? My name is Alex, I'm a professional music producer, and today I want to talk about the music of Hiroyuki Sawano from Attack on Titan. I'm gonna listen to one of the tracks and tell you what is so cool about it, so let's go. That's a typical sound. That is a sound that is very used in trailer music since the trailer for Inception. But that's a very interesting parallel because I think the music of Hiroyuki Sawano is very inspired by Hans Zimmer, one of the leading composers in the film music industry, who everyone loves because his music sounds epic and huge as hell, but it's also very simple, so you can understand it and vibe with it very easily. I felt the same way when I was watching Attack on Titan. Also, did you notice like the guitar playing underneath that? One of the cool things about Sawano's music is that he uses these electronic, aggressive sounds, and on top of them, he adds a beautiful orchestra that sounds very human. This is something I hear a lot in Ace Combat music. In fact, this kind of reminds me of an Ace Combat track called Zero. Kinda similar vibes. This is a masterpiece I will probably make a video about eventually, but let's go back to Attack on Titan. God damn. Man. The bass is so freaking nasty. There's so much happening right now. It's like, it blows your mind. But why does it sound so massive now? Why did it blow us away? Well, the obvious answer is the choir, right? I mean, that combo of high strings plus choir singing on top of their lungs with marcato reminds us so much of Bloodborne, and it sounds epic. That's pretty cool, but that's not what makes the track sound huge, actually. The reason why the music in this bit sounds huge is because it's layered like an onion. Underneath the melody, for example, you have this harmonization. The thing that makes this sound huge is actually the last layer, the bass amped up with the guitar and some low strings doing. So freaking nasty. I want to put it all together. Another thing that Hiroyuki Sawano added to make this even more intense is the riser here. Sort of like rising sound is very used in electronic music to create a lot of tension before the drop. It blends the two worlds between like Mozart and freaking, Zed or Avicii and stuff like that. It's pretty cool to hear, honestly. Man. I love this bit. And this singer. Shit. This singer, she's essentially singing the same melodies as the choir, but she's so freaking good because she adds even more character. But especially the instrumentation is so amazing. Like, there's so many things happening. For example, the cellos underneath are doing something wild like... What is this? And then you have this melody that is very simple. But underneath you have kind of chaos and hellfire breaking loose. I'm not sure if the notes are exactly correct because I tried to rewrite this by ear, but I hear so much rumble in the strings, and I'm sure they're doing something hectic like this. To represent this more visually, we can say that the choir and orchestra are as massive as titans breaking the city, bringing chaos and stuff like that, while Eliana's voice soaring on top of all of that orchestration is like Levi jumping all around and slicing and dicing everything with incredible grace and class and style. In this case, in a scene like that, what you pay attention to is Levi, because he's a badass. You don't really pay attention to the chaos underneath, but the chaos contextualizes Levi's amazing moves. That's what the orchestra is doing now with Eliana's voice, which is the thing we pay attention to for the most part. This is what genius sounds like to me, like being able to write music in a way that is so complex and requires so much skill, but also having the charisma to present it in a way that everybody can understand. This is what Sawano does, and it's so cool. Man, this freaking... I love this rhythm. shit. Damn. That bass is actually kind of crazy. Like, you have this beautiful rhythm pattern, and then obviously, of course, there needed to be a bass just slapping on top of it. This kind of reminds me again of Ace Combat, where you have a similar bass line, like distorted bass like this. So freaking cool. Honestly, I recommend checking out Ace Combat soundtracks to anyone who loves Attack on Titan music, because I have the feeling this is very inspired by those soundtracks, which are insanely good in everything. Anyway, let's go back to the track. Oh shit. Oh shit. Man. This part is so fucking good. Like, what? What? Like, I think everybody who watches this anime, when they heard this specific track coming in the show, probably fell off their chair. This right here is like the apotheosis of talent in everyone involved in this soundtrack. Like, everything about this part is so fucking cool. But can we take a moment to talk about vocals for a second? I mean, she's so freaking good, and she brings a lot of character to what would have already been like a 5-star track. This is a freaking amazing track for everything that's happening in the orchestra, but she elevated it even further. What I love a lot is the way she's singing the melody. She's adding a lot of grace notes. Grace notes are very short notes that are added just to add color. If I played her vocals on piano, they would be something like this. This passage is where you really hear it. If you play it without the grace notes, it's cool, but not as like, and she does that a lot, everywhere. And she's so good, especially like the way she's singing in certain parts is so insane, because to reach these high notes is not easy at all. Like now, like how? This is something that reminds me of the trailer for Interstellar, because the way she sings makes you ascend into outer space or something. And actually, what if we try to make this sound more like sci-fi, like Interstellar? Okay, whatever. Here goes. This freaking groove, so freaking good. My god. Wow. Like, shit. What are we talking about? What is this? What is this? Like, why does the music from a freaking anime sounds better than like 90% of stuff out there? Like, we have to show this to people who are like, yeah, anime music isn't real music. Video game music is real music. Bro, what the fuck? This is better than most music I've ever heard in my life. Like, this is so good. Let me listen to it again. Shit, man. A Japanese composer and Japanese singer writing music based on like classical music from Europe and electronic music and stuff, and using German words. That is so fucking amazing. Seeing cultures being cross-referenced like this. The idea of using a language that is not English or Japanese to sing on this song is so cool, because it creates the possibility to use some phonetic sounds that you wouldn't have in those languages. So that adds a lot of character, a lot of novelty. That's why Nier Automata was a hit. The sound that they used in the invented language they have in that soundtrack hit like nothing does in English music. I fucking love it. Also, the groove. Man, it's so good. I can't resist. I have to make it funky. I mean, one of the best tracks I ever heard in anime. It's up there with like Libera Me From Hell from Gurren Lagann. Anyway, if you're supporting this channel on Patreon and you have access to the request thread, feel free to request me to analyze any music from any anime that you like, because for this month I want to try to do anime music as well, trying something different. And for everyone else, I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. Thank you for watching it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.